This is part 2 of descriptive adjectives. Before we move on to adjectives of nationality, I would like to make out a few points for the color adjectives. So just like our other adjectives, they also agree in number and gender with the nouns they modify, except for the colors azul and verde. So they only change in number, but not in gender. So an example would be for these two, azul and verde, is una mochila verde, or un cuaderno azul. And the plural version of that representation would be unas mochilas verdes, or unos cuadernos azules. So an ES is added to the end. Another example for the regular colors, where they do change in both number, singular or plural, and gender, would be the word pluma, if given the word pluma, which means pen, una pluma roja. So una is the indefinite article, pluma is your noun, and roja is your descriptive adjective, and all end in A, and all are singular. For a plural version example, for masculine form, we could take the word cuadernos, which are notebooks, and the indefinite article attached to that would be unos cuadernos negros. So if you had black notebooks, it would be unos cuadernos negros. Another example could be for a full sentence. En la clase hay una mesa roja. Or also, en la clase hay una pizarra blanca. Now on to our adjectives of nationality. These are going to be some descriptive adjectives. It will be great to have a lot of oral practice or intercambios, which are exchanges with our interpersonal speaking exercises. So, in Spanish, country names are capitalized, but the adjectives of nationality are not. Adjectives of nationality that end in a consonant form the feminine by adding an A. Please make note in the sidebar, atención, that adjectives with an accent on the last syllable will drop the accent in the feminine and plural forms. So these will show up in the Quizlet practice with the rules that was introduced in part 1. So for instance, inglés, but in the feminine it's inglesa. Alemán, alemanes. Moving on. Adjectives of nationality that end in a consonant form the feminine by adding a. So, japonés becomes japonesa. Español becomes española. So adjectives of color and nationality are formed like the other descriptive adjectives. So if you first take the masculine form and you look at the singular, you're going to have argentino. In the plural form, it's argentinos. In the feminine form singular, you're going to have argentina. In the plural form feminine, it's argentinas. The same when you have these different two colors I mentioned in the color section earlier, azul and verde, that do not change when adhering to the noun that they modify. They just stay azul and verde. We don't add an A at the end. So the masculine form is going to be the same as the feminine form, and the plural will be azules, verdes, just as you see depicted here. So some adjectives of nationality can also be used as nouns. So for instance, la chica rusa es guapa. So that would be the Russian girl is attractive or good looking. But you could also call her la rusa, the Russian, es guapa. And you know that it's a noun because it has la before it. So you're talking about the definite article, la, the rusa. Now on to the final piece with descriptive adjectives, and that's the position of the adjectives. So descriptive adjectives and adjectives of nationality generally follow the nouns they modify. So an example of that would be El niño rubio es de España. La mujer española habla inglés. So unlike descriptive adjectives, adjectives of quantity, so that's the number of nouns that we're talking about, they go before the noun that's modified. So anytime you think you're describing something with a number, just remember that's the time it's going to go before the noun it's modifying. For example, hay muchos libros en la biblioteca. Hablo con dos turistas puertorriqueños. So bueno and buena, malo and mala, can appear before or after the noun. So when you're talking about things that are good or bad, they can go before or after a noun, but they take on a slightly different spelling when they go before the noun. So when placed before a masculine singular, so one single noun that it's modifying, the forms are shortened from bueno to buen, from malo to mal. If it comes before, it's buen. If it comes before and it's bad, it's mal. But if it comes after, it's going to stay bueno. If it's something bad, it's going to stay malo. If it comes after the noun, it modifies. So for example, Joaquín es un buen amigo. Joaquín es un amigo bueno. And then, so these are talking about good things. So, hoy es un mal día. Hoy es un día malo. Because remember, día is actually masculine. It's el día, so it's a little irregular. And finally, when grande appears before a singular noun, it is shortened to gran, and it takes on a different meaning. So that is a little bit different than bueno and malo. Similar concept, but it takes on a different meaning, and that's what makes it different. Okay, so, and the meaning of the word gran means great, and grande means big or large. So for instance, if you want to say somebody is a great person or a great friend, those will be two common ways you're going to hear this great adjective used. Is an example like this. Don Francisco es un gran hombre. And then if you want to say that something is large, like a family, you would say la familia de Inés es grande. Okay? So a gran amiga, or you could also say, a good friend. So just like the example was above. So and just like a little side note here to end this screencast, I'd like to mention, like bueno and grande, santo is also shortened before masculine nouns unless they begin with to or do. So San Francisco, San Jose, which are towns we've all heard of quite frequently, are going to be shortened to san instead of santo. Okay? But because Tomás and Domingo start with the do and the to, it sounds better to be Santo Tomás, Santo Domingo. Santa is used with the names of the female saints, so Santa Barbara, Santa Clara. Okay? All right, let's practice.